Hey guys, Chris here, we're giving Project Nerf, and today we're going to take a look at a pretty sweet commission that we just finished up. Let's take a look. Alright, so this build was a 5-blaster build from my buddy Brian, and this one was a lot of fun. It was one of the smoothest yet bumpiest builds that I've ever done. There was a bunch of little smalls that went on that happened, and anyway, we'll get into that a little bit more. So the first blaster you guys saw on the Nerf ER episode here was the Lapis. We got that taken care of. It's running awesomely, so yeah, very, very pleased with that. Of course, we had that flywheel rubbing in here, causing extra amperage. It was burning switches and motors out. We got all that sorted. It's running fantastic. So yeah, little Lapis Mark II. Okay, the second blaster was a strife. Now, this is one of the few that I get to do that I did not convert to full auto. This is just a semi-auto strife. It's got a set of Neo Hellcats in it. Not certain what kind of cage or wheels, but they're definitely a high crush set. So, did a full rewire on this, went on ahead and did a MOSFET for that cage, as this is, again, a 3S. And we had some issues along the way. It came in, one of the Hellcats was burnt out, which he had stated in his letter to me, so he sent one. The problem was, I'm not certain who did the install in the cage, but the motor retention screws that go through the cage were stripped so badly that I could only get one of the 4 out of it. So I actually had to very, very carefully drill the heads off of them to get the motors out of it, and then I could no longer get that screw out of the motor, so I had to donate one of my Neo Hellcats. No problem. Had one laying around anyway. Other than that, everything here went nice and smooth. You got this great 3D printed motor cover to go on it. When we do the firing demo, you'll see an extended battery door that I'm going to loan just for the sake of not, trying to hold the battery and shoot this thing. But I'm really curious to get this one on the Chrono and see what it does. All right, number 3 and 4 are the knockoff strifes. He sent 2 of those. And he wasn't worried about saving the select fire. Full auto was good. I did try to save it on one of them, and I actually I burnt the board out. Not his fault, mine. Yes, Chris from Project Nerf does mess up from time to time here, guys. So great motor covers to put on them, and if you'll note the magwell adapter, this has been converted to run on short darts. It is full auto. It's got a Kraken pusher motor in here, which isn't the fastest rate of fire in the world, given the gearing of this box, but, I find it pretty acceptable. It's probably 5-ish, maybe 6, and, he definitely spent some dough on the cages. These are the Band Blasters Banshee cages, and oh my lord, does this little thing rip. So, I'm really looking forward to getting this one on the Chrono and firing it for you. I'll only do one, since they're identical. And then I got one more of them to show you here, and then we're going to get outside and shoot it, because I know that's what you guys want to see. So for the first time ever, here at Project Nerf, a Hurricane. Now, this is a very modern variant. You notice it doesn't have the big fan back here cut into the body. This is a ducted fan like they would use in small RC airplanes or something like that. We did the shut-off switch up here on the front to shut the flywheels down. So if you just pull the rev trigger right now, only the fan will run. And it works great. And then we can flip the switch forward. And it's ready to go. This one came in and everything was with it. He had the kit, everything except the tail cap. The battery tray was missing from this blaster. So, Brian, I love you. I pulled the one off of my Zeus and stripped it down and gave you my cap. So now my Zeus doesn't have a tail, but that's okay. Yours is going to get used. Mine is just it's sitting on the shelf somewhere. One of the coolest things that I did with this is, in the interest of maintenance and disassembly, instead of hardwiring the fan into the blaster, what I did is used an XT60, a flush mount, a body mount XT60 connector, right here, hopefully you guys can see it, and wired the fan up on an XT60 so that it can be removed. So that way, if you have to remove the entire Hurricane apparatus here, it's not really that difficult a job. You got to crack the shell open. There's one pin that runs right through the front sight, and then the bottom portion is held in by the mag lever. But as a whole, this unit would come out as one piece. So I thought, like, again, in the interest of having to open it up, service it, change wiring, change switches over the course of time, that flush mount type connector was just the best way to go about connecting the fan. Anyway, guys, without further ado, let's get these bad boys out on the range and see what they do. Alright, before we actually blink at a few targets here, so we've got the strife, and I've got some elite darts in here. Let's see how we're doing with those big Neo Hellcats here. Here we go. I got two more, I might as well shoot them for fun. Yeah, that's some pretty big numbers. There was a couple of smaller ones, but these are very, very well-loved darts. I haven't bought elite darts in, well, a couple of years, because they're just substandard. So I like to use them for demos like this. Anyway, let's take a look here. We got 12 with a high of 177. The low of 139, and the average of 162 FPS. Yeah, that is super, super good for a single flywheel unit. Anyway, let's grab that little knockoff blaster and see what it does. Alright, so we've got the red imitation strife here, again with the band blaster's cage in it. And it is full auto, but we're going to try to get some reads off of it here. These are the T238 darts, mainly just because they'll be a lot easier for me to find with all the leaf cover out here because I haven't raked in forever. Anyway, let's go. Yikes. Let's take a look here, guys. We got the 9 reads. It was doubling up. Again, it is full auto, so I did good as I could here. A high of 193, a low of 170, and an average of 189 FPS, guys. Wow, that band blaster cage is rocking it. Anyway, let's get these bad boys out on the range and see if we can hit anything with them. Alright, first up, the Lapis here. You guys saw me fire it in the video, but hey, let's see if we can hit anything with it. Yeah, we can hit stuff. Let's mag dump it at the 20 and just see what we get here. Well, that was agreeable. Well, there it is, guys. The Lapis. Let's move on to something bigger. Alright, the strife. No, I just zip-tied the battery in there. Even my battery door wasn't big enough, but this is a hot battery. Anyway, so we're gonna fire, I think I've got 10 elite darts in here. This just for comedic relief here, guys, and then we'll try some AF waffles. I actually scored a couple of hits, which surprised me. A couple of the dart heads went flying out, and the foam just went... which is to be expected with a high crush blaster like this. Let's see how we do with the AF waffles here. Not bad at all, guys. I scored hits on all 4 targets, a couple of them on the 80, quite a few on the 60, actually. This is shooting very accurately, yeah, I like it a lot, so hope Brian does too. Let's take a look at that Hurricane. Hurricane, you see all the balls are pushed in, she's ready to go. We're going to turn on the flywheels, and guys, I hope you know I love you, because my nets are down from all of the weather that we've had, so I'll be hunting down rival balls for a while here. Anyway, let's play. That was just a little too enjoyable. Alright, let's get that knockoff strife. I'm really curious to see how that thing does. Alright, and lastly, here we go with that strife with the band blaster's cage in it, and Now, in the garage, when I was test firing this thing, guys, it seemed to be shooting nice and straight. I mean, holy cow, it was right on point. I'm curious to see what it'll do out on the range, and especially at 190 feet per second. Anyway, let's get at it. Scored hits on 20, 40, and 60 with no problems. Power to spare. Let's see if we can freaking hit that 80. Oh, I got one. Yeah, guys, I'm very impressed by this combination. That is one very, very healthy little strife, and anybody brave enough to call it an imitator is in for a rude awakening. Yeah, guys, back in from the range. Hope you enjoyed that. I had a lot of fun with it. Very, very happy with the way this commission came out as a whole. The strife is firing amazingly. I was scoring hits out at 80 feet with long darts on a flywheeler, so that's super good. The Lapis came out just fine. It's shooting fast. It just spray and pray kind of deal. The big tail here was the knockoff strife. Holy cow, guys. With the Band Blaster's cage shooting an average of 189. Full auto, not the fastest full auto in the world, but agreeable for me. If Brian wants me to change something, obviously I will have got that all pounded out by the time you guys see this video. Tail. If you guys haven't seen my review of the T238 Scar Barrel and darts, I'll put the link up here for you. But the darts, of all of them you saw me fire today, we lost the heads total off of 5, and all of these were out of the Band Blaster strife, or imitation strife, at nearly 190 FPS into a tree that was 3 feet away right behind my chronograph, and it knocked the heads off of only 5. Everything that went down range survived just fine. Scored hits with that blaster well out into the 80-foot range, and found darts 135 or 40 feet away on a very, very low trajectory. So could not be happier with the way that came out. It fires great. It works. And then, of course, guys, the Hurricane, it was just a ton of fun. I like this thing. I think everybody does. And the new design with the ducted fan here in the back, that's just super cool. Oh, and note on construction here, this ducted fan, I connect it to the rest of the apparatus here with simply hot glue. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One, ease of takedown. If you ever need to take it off and, say, replace the motor, makes it easier than using like super glue or epoxy. You can just, shimmy the hot glue loose here, swap your motor out real quick, and you're good to go. And if you ever need to replace it, if it ever fails, hot glue's cheap. You can find it everywhere, and it works for the job. So, so just a little pro tip there on construction of stuff like this. Ultimately, guys, super thrilled with the way this came out. Again, couple of bumps in the road. We had the Lapis that he had sent one motor, ended up needing both, donated one of mine. Ultimately, the Neo Hellcats, same deal. He sent one, ended up needing a second one, but that's okay. I had one laying around. And then, again, the cap for this blaster here, other parts that didn't get sent, which were very, very few. Brian very much thought this commission through, which I appreciate. Was just a switch plate cover, stock switch plate cover for the strife, just to help hold the ref switch in so it wouldn't like jump off of the big micro switch that we put in there. Anyway, guys, if you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button, turn on all notifications, as we got a lot of great content coming up here in the future. Definitely going to talk about another giveaway. Check us out on Facebook, check out the shop. And in the description box below, I'll put our email address if you want to drop us a line, as well as the fan mail address if you want to write a letter and send it in. Guys, till next time, this is Chris for Project Nerf saying, have a blast. Oh, I love this thing.